Good morning, everyone. So, we're continuing to dig deep and dig in to stop doing that shit and end our self sabotage once and for all. So, a lot of the questions and the work we've done so far is really about establishing your set of invisible truths. And we've talked about truths and living your truth in previous messages. But this set of invisible truths are the things you tell yourself, about others. And the thing is that this is our perspective, the way we see things. And then we go about carving them in stone and building our lives around these truths. So think about it also this way. Your truth is only your truth. It's not the truth to anyone else. It's only your perspective based on your circumstances. It's your point of view. So if all that is true, then we can go about changing our perspectives and therefore changing our truths. So think about your current relationships with others and with yourself. The way you relate, your hang-ups, your triggers, your rages, and your disappointments. Who or what have you blamed your life for being the way that it is? This is your truth. This is your view. It's your perspective. And while we can't change the past, like I just said, we can change our perspectives on it and thus really change our truth. So whatever your current truths are, they don't have to own you. It's just sort of this easy, explainable excuse for why our lives are the way that they are. And we established yesterday that our thoughts and our past no longer own us. So if all that is true, then what really leads us to self-sabotage? Where are we going in all of this? We have arrived, folks, at the 3 saboteurs. And this is what Gary John Bishop says are the 3 fundamental cornerstones of life. These came out of that thrownness we talked about yesterday. These arose from our established truths, and they are locked into our subconscious minds. These are 3 fundamental subconscious conclusions we have made at a definitive point in our lives about your life, and we cannot change them or erase them. And to make matters worse, all of our actions align with these conclusions. So what are they, and how do we identify them? And let's get to identifying them. So these are the conclusions that you make about yourself, about others, and about your life. And they skew everything, you all. This is what you tell yourself to keep life safe, certain, and secure. But it's also what drives us to want change on the inside. So this is what gets us stuck in that constant cycle of repeat, safety versus risk. We are now finally beginning to understand and end our cycle of self-sabotage once and for all. So the subconscious talk and the established truths were pretty difficult concepts for me to get in this book. I had to read the whole book, go back and reread those parts again to really understand where he was going with that. But what we're about to go into now, this is the real nitty-gritty for me of this book. And we're going to start with the first one, the first saboteur. What is your personal conclusion about yourself? And this is powerful, you all, and this is painful, or it was for me. This is how you see yourself, how you are, and your capabilities. But most importantly, this is how you see your shortcomings. These conclusions are negative. There is nothing positive about these conclusions. This is the deep, dark, negative conversation that you have with yourself in the middle of the night. This is the criticism. These are the flaws. This is the real why to why you are living the way that you live. It's negative. And it begins with I, and it sounds something like this. I am not worthy. I am not smart enough. I am a loser. I am different. I am not loved. I am incapable. I don't matter. So what have you concluded about yourself? This is that persistent, pressing thought you have about yourself and your life, yourself in your life. This is probably something you want to keep hidden from other people. So we've really got to dig deep to discover this. What's the underlying dilemma you face with yourself? Is it something like, I don't fit in? Or I'm not wanted? Maybe it's another phrase. What's your personal conclusion? Finish this sentence. I am blank. I am what? Write it down. If you want to share it in the comments below, if you're brave, I would love to hear what your personal conclusion is about yourself. Don't be shy. We've got to be crystal clear about what these conclusions are, because it's how, these conclusions shape our actions, our reactions, our thoughts about our past, and our thoughts about our futures. So I'll share mine with you if you share yours with me. And I'll have to tell you, this was really hard for me to get to. I really did the work and really looked deep inside myself. And it's been really eye-opening to accept this, you all. But my personal conclusion about myself is I am never good enough. And it shapes everything that I do in my life. So what's your personal conclusion? I am what? Answer that. Think about it. Take time. Tomorrow we're jumping into the other 2 saboteurs, and you'll see where all this is going. I promise. You won't want to miss it. But most importantly, what's your personal conclusion about yourself? And we'll talk tomorrow.